The All India Safe Education Committee AISEC Karnataka State Committee released the draft People's Education Policy PEP 2025 on May 22, 2025 at the Press Club, Bangalore. This alternative policy to NEP 2020 is the result of 5 years of grassroots engagement through workshops, debates, and consultations with educationists, teachers, students, and the general public. It reflects the collective wisdom of thousands and aims to initiate a broader national discussion. AISEC denounced the NEP 2020 for being implemented without parliamentary debate during the COVID-19 lockdown and without proper consultation with state governments or stakeholders. The committee expressed deep concern over the Karnataka government's decision to shut down 6,000 government schools, calling it a direct result of NEP 2020. They launched a statewide campaign and are forming village-level safe public education committees to resist this move. Prominent speakers included Allama Prabhu Bettaduru, Professor A. Murigeppa, Dr. Abdul Subhan, R.L. Mauryan, and B.N. Rajashekar. They emphasized that PEP 2025 includes 19 comprehensive advocacy points which call for a secular, democratic, and scientific education system rooted in equity and access. Key proposals include opposing school closures and strengthening government schools, appointing adequate teachers and removing non-teaching burdens, adopting a two-language formula promoting mother tongue and English, allocating at least 10% of the central and 20 to 25% of state budgets to education. In contrast, NEP 2020 promotes mergers and closures of schools, a three-language policy favoring Sanskrit, commercialization and privatization of education, silence on declining public funding for education. PEP 2025 is being released in all state capitals and Delhi with plans to finalize it through public input and present it a National People's Parliament in January 2026 in Bangalore.
All India Safe Education Committee. Across the country, we have released the draft education policy. It is a people's alternative to most controversial national policy on education 2020. Our demand is national education policy recommends for closure of government schools. We are vehemently opposing it. Our recommendation is no school should be closed. First point. Second point is why schools are getting closed? Because lack of strength. Why there is lack of strength? It is because there is the vacant teachers post. They are in lakhs. It has not been filled up. And teachers are being given non-academic work. This should not be given. This is our point. Next point what we are demanding is 10% of the central budget and 20 to 25% of the every state budget should be allocated for education. Third point is education, now it is in concurrent list, it should be brought back to state list. Next point what we are demanding is the 4-year degree program is elitist, it is pro-corporate. So that policy should be given up. 3-year degree program should be reintroduced. And next point is regarding the language policy. Our point is in the education, it should be 2-language formula, meaning mother tongue and English. At the same time, the rights of the linguistic and cultural minorities, their rights should be safeguarded. So for them, the separate arrangement should be made so that in their mother tongue, they will get education. And next point is the commercialization of education. Whole education today, right from KG to PG, whole education is getting commercialized. And NEP 2020 is for commercialization, profiteering in education. We are deadly opposed to it. We are telling education should become the right and there should be no PPP model in education. And lastly, in the name of Indian knowledge system, glorifying the ancient Indian past, the entire history is being distorted to fan up communal mind, to create religious jingoism, particularly Hindu religious jingoism. We are deadly opposed to it. All the education is. Our point is education, the school textbooks should not become any political party's textbook. The education should be purely scientific and secular, meaning whatever is internationally accepted and scientific facts should be imparted to children. And in the education, it should create a national unity and integrity among the children, not to divide them on the basis of religion, caste or language. These are all condemnable. These are the major highlights of our people's alternative education policy. This draft we are circulating among the people to further invite the suggestions and opinions. Already for last 3 years, we conducted hundreds of seminars, conventions, discussions involving professors, teachers, academicians and students. Taking all their opinions, we formulated this draft policy, which itself is a historic document. An organization doing it is in such a vast country like India, it is quite impossible. But we have done it. We appeal to the people to further strengthen it and develop this as a Save Education movement, to save education and implement democratic, scientific, secular and universal education.
Against the new education policy, there were a lot of deliberations, lot of protests across India was held, and a lot of suggestions were taken from all the stakeholders. Let it be teachers, students, institutions owners and all that. After all that deliberations, one policy was formulated that is called People's Education Policy. Even in the Karnataka, when the state education policy was supposed to be announced, that time the same challenges which were there in the new education policy were put forth to them, and all the observations of people's education policy were presented to all the ministers of government of Karnataka, and we presented our proposal also in the state education policy, and it was embraced in positive way, and we have seen the changes in the state education policy where they have rolled back this undergraduate program from 4 years to 3 years, PG program from 1 year to they have increased it to 2 years. So the state education policy was introduced, and some changes we have seen in Karnataka. But at a national level, again to bring a positive impact, we have formulated this people's conference now. We will gather all the stakeholders from across India at Bangalore so that we can bring that positive pressure on the policymakers. Because in the guise of new education policy, what all things they have done, we wanted to counter it on its merits, nothing else.